Hello, Internet. The Morgan You Know podcast network presents Balls and Brew.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us here on the Morgan You Know live stream. We come to you some nights on Wednesday. Most of the time, though, we come to you on Thursday. We're coming to you a little earlier this evening because we are a man down. We will get to that shortly. But joining me, as he does basically on everything that exists here on this network, he is the backbone. He is a friend of mine since elementary school. He is a Bears fan. He is James Thomas Jamriska. Jimmy, hello. You're also the executive producer of this podcast. I didn't say that. I apologize.
I am. It's okay. Everyone knows. Rod, I am so excited to be here. And just to let you know, if you ever go 4-2 over a 6-week span in the podcast, I'm not dropping you for anybody. Don't think I would.
I love it. Jimmy is referring to himself as Free Fields this evening. Perhaps Jimmy has another Justin Fields take he will uncork on us. We'll find out as the podcast rolls on. But someone who will definitely have takes for us. He will talk about luck. He will talk about referees. He will talk about DVOA because he is our football handicapper. He's the guy that knows. He's the one that makes us smarter. He's joining me from just miles away in lovely South Bend, Indiana. It's our guy, Josh Williams. Josh, hello.
What's up, boys? Man, I got to get back on track at some point this year, man. 1-2 against the spread last week, 7-11 on the year. It's whatever could go wrong has gone wrong this season with the picks.
Good job, Williams.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. You're 7-11, okay? And we see somebody popping into frame for those of us that are watching right now. And basically what happens, Williams, when you are 7-11 is we press the Jackson Jamriska button, all right?
Yeah, let's go.
Jimmy's youngest son, Jackson, an absolute hot take artist, is going to join us on the podcast. We prepped him before the show, told him to get something in the chamber, get ready to bring it to us. Jackson, are you ready to bring us that take already, or do you want to sit it out for a little bit and bring it to us later? Okay, he needs to sit it out for a little bit. But Jackson, say hi to everybody.
For those audio listeners, Jackson is focused. It's kind of like when Williams was first on the podcast. He would just shake his head yes and no at Rod. Jackson's focused, and he wants to really get a good take in here. So he'll be there in a second.
All right, listen, let him marinate on it, right? There's nothing like a good marinate, right? You put
that
something
I want to talk. Okay, talk. I don't want to talk. All right, then.
That's how it works, doesn't it?
It's children.
We'll let that slow broth brew, and Jackson will join us at some point with the hot take because we are a man down. Our guy Chris King is unable to join us this week, so the podcast got a lot younger. We got a lot less Dallas Cowboy-centric, but spoiler, the Cowboys may still come up yet on this podcast. And Chris will be back with us soon. He has not been immediately replaced on the podcast. Longtime listeners might think that he could be out at any time, Jimmy, based on the way that sometimes him and I go back and forth, but he is just off 1 week. Tell the listeners he's off just 1 week. I have not jettisoned him.
Nothing has happened as far as we know. But again, Chris, he only gets so many hours, so many days a week with that internet service. It's hard for him. It's definitely hard.
True. We did have him join us the other night to talk wrestling, so it's partly on us. I have a basketball question because next week we will be kicking off the fast break where we're going to talk some NBA. We're going to do our NBA wins draft. That's always fun. Jimmy is the reigning, defending, current champion of the wins draft in the NBA, so he's excited about that. We're going to get off a couple of our predictions and things of that nature next week. But the basketball I have for you, gentlemen, is actually the WNBA. Were either of you watching live when Sabrina Ionescu dropped the absolute dagger? And I've got Sabrina's shoes right here.
Oh,
we got the Sabrinas. I, of course, do not wear the Sabrinas, but Kate has them. She loves them. That logo 3 that she hit, Jimmy. I mean, listen, I've watched a lot of NBA basketball. I've seen a lot of shots hit. That was a pretty darn impressive shot. Were you watching that live?
I did not watch it live, but it is pretty cool to see. And I think I was listening to an interview a couple weeks ago, and the the WNBA is 26 years in. Think of where that is now compared to where the NBA was 26 years in. It's just grown and grown and grown, and hopefully one day these top stars don't have to then go in the offseason and go play somewhere else. Hopefully people get enough revenue in there that they can just be full-time.
But we certainly had more attendance this year. We certainly had better TV ratings, right? We got a new deal coming up soon. I think the players, they're getting better travel and accommodations, right? Next has got to come salaries. I echo your sentiments there, Jimmy Jam Williams. I know you're a man who plays wagers on a lot of different things. You doing any WNBA action? Were you watching that game? What was going on over at Williams HQ?
Oh, more than you know, Rod. More than you know. That was a dagger. that was a dagger in my heart. So in June, I dabbled on the Minnesota Lynx 35-1 to win the WNBA title.
Oh no!
Yeah, up by 15, game 3. Yeah, that's it's not great. I think they could come back and win game 4, but I don't see any way how they're going to go to New York and win game 5. They already stole game 1 in New York, so I don't know. It's tough. But yeah, WNBA as a whole, game 1 was outstanding.
Yeah, two insane comebacks already in this series. Like
insane comebacks. Yeah, the play has been fantastic. Over 19,000 were in attendance for that game 3 Lynx game.
They don't even get 19,000 for a bunch of regular season NBA games anymore, man.
I love it, man. You guys, everybody can joke at me. I love the sense of urgency in the WNBA. And I love the playoff format in the first round. The playoff format is best of 3, but the home team.
Stop. That 3 is ridiculous.
Listen.
Listen.
The home team gets the first 2. The road team gets the 3rd game. It's so sense of urgency. I love it. It's complete opposite of NBA. Sense of urgency.
No, listen, that's fine. They still play a shorter regular season. I mean, but we got to have 3 out of 5. Come on, we got to have 3 out of 5. No, there's no 2 out of 3. How much fun does baseball get made fun of for having their 1-game wild card playoffs? Now you just want to have 2? Come on, 3 out of 5 is at least decent.
No, the wild card playoffs are fantastic. Are you kidding me, Rod?
Yeah,
that's made baseball more interesting and entertaining.
The second round is best of 5.
Honestly, I don't miss baseball at all. Who's still around? I couldn't tell you. I think the Yankees and the Mets are around because I hear a bunch about them.
There's some small market teams. It's the Yankees, the Mets, the Dodgers, and the Guardians. So yeah, the Guardians used to be the Cleveland Indians, Rod.
But they did it good, Rod. So next year they're going to the finals. They're going best of 7.
See?
So in the semifinals is best of 5. First round best of 3. So they advance each time.
All right, but they're going to keep 2 out of 3 in the first round. All right, cool. Listen, I can be wrong. I can admit that I'm wrong. That's all right. Let's move on to the NFL. Jimmy, listen, I saw you there. I admit every once in a while when I'm wrong. Come on. I'm different than most podcast hosts.
Chris King just texted me. No, he doesn't.
Yeah. I'm like them in so many ways, but I'm also different at times. All right, I got some Colts. Actually, one Colts question and one Bears question we're going to get to here in just a second because we always check in with our local teams. But I want to start with this. Jimmy.
Yeah.
Who had a worse week? The Dallas Cowboys or the Jacksonville Jaguars?
I think it's the Dallas Cowboys because their fans still have hope and think that and Jackson thinks the Jaguars suck. So, okay, Jackson, calm down with your hot takes on the Jaguars, dude. Jeez. So, yeah, it's definitely the Cowboys. That was embarrassing. At least the Jaguars, you come to expect that. I just don't understand how Jerry Jones can just continue to do this. Why is McCarthy still the coach? I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder, Williams, do you have some thoughts vis-a-vis McCarthy? Do you have some thoughts vis-a-vis my guy Doug, who I'm going to put on a visor here in just a second in seniority for my guy Doug Peterson, who says he doesn't understand the culture on his team? Hey, Doug, news brief guy, you're the one who's supposed to set it, all right? You're not supposed to get up on a microphone and tell people that I don't even know what's going on with the culture. We're right on the premises. We could slip this way or that way. You know who's supposed to make sure you don't do that, Doug? You, all right? I like professional golf too, buddy, but let's stop following the PGA Tour and being able to give people President's Cup breakdowns and maybe figure out why in the world your glory boy, Ronnie Sunshine Bass quarterback Trevor Lawrence can't play any football. Williams, I'm sorry, I went off on a little rant there. I was asking you about Dallas and Jacksonville.
Yeah, surprisingly, Dougie Fresh and the Jags went off as favorites against the Bears in London.
That's ridiculous. They shouldn't be favored against anybody, let alone your Bears. We'll get to them soon.
So, the most prominent NFL bettor and maybe probably the history of NFL betting, he was on Jacksonville and Tennessee this last week. We could get to the Tennessee Indy shenanigans with the practice report with the Colts later. But, yeah, Jacksonville, if they got
shenanigans? How dare you?
Yeah, I don't know if it was the Colts' fault, but it was just shenanigans by the NFL. I don't know. But Jacksonville, if Dougie Fresh doesn't win this game against the Patriots, he's not coming back from London this week. So
I think that's definitely true.
That team quit in the second half against the Bears. It was pretty obvious.
Frankly, we're hearing the Q word about the other team Jacksonville's taking on in London as well, right? We're hearing that. Gerard Mayo, things look pretty chaotic in New England too. Could this be a loser doesn't get back to the United States game? Jimmy, that's like a wrestling match right there. That's like Gunther versus who do you fight? Like Ludwig Kaiser. If they decided to go after it and the loser can't come back.
that might be the case, but I think Mayo's going to have a little bit longer leash. I don't think it's going to happen.
Dougie Fresh. I love that, Williams. Dougie Fresh. That's great. They were calling him Middle Seat Doug on Simmons' podcast. I thought that was pretty good, too. All right. I said the Bears. I teased it enough. Let's go. Here's my question for the Bears, and then you guys are allowed to say whatever you want because you're the Bears fans. But what is a reasonable level of excitement for Bears fans about their quarterback, right? About their quarterback. You guys are so starved. You're so starved. And this guy is showing signs that nobody has ever shown, frankly, in a Bears uniform. How excited are you Bears fans allowed to be? Jimmy, I can see you just boiling, and I'm going to make you simmer. Williams, you go first.
I mean, I consider this Bears season and the Colts season pretty similarly. If the quarterback showed promise, it's all gravy. I mean, I feel like Caleb has shown promise. He has improved each and every week. We've got another couple possibly easy defenses coming up on the schedule. They need to stack wins. I'm saying this now, though, and I'm not throwing any cold water on the Bears. If they don't make the playoffs, it's not a failure because of that division being so ridiculously tough. Okay, the chances of all four teams making the playoffs are I don't think it's going to happen. So, yeah, I'm enthused with Caleb. He's doing well, and I have realistic expectations. So when he does crazy well, I'm supposed to temper everything down. When he does terribly, I'm supposed to lift him back up. And the Bears fans right now are probably a little too crazy with the playoff talk, but that's okay. I'm fine with it. It's the Bears. We should be happy, Rod.
Oh, you definitely should be. And speaking of happy Bears fans who probably are getting a little excited, Jimmy Jamriska, I know you grew up with the Swartskis, the Bears, the super fans. Come on, how excited are you?
I'm pretty excited, but I'm kind of like Williams as well. Caleb Williams has it. He's growing. He's grown a lot in the first 6 weeks of the season. But you got to remember, the Bears are probably going to be either 7-2 or 6-3 here in a couple weeks.
Ridiculous.
Well, no, they can't. I mean, they're playing the Commanders is could go either way for sure. They should beat the Cardinals. They should beat the Patriots very easily. But then Drake May. Jackson's all about Drake May. He's got the number 10 jersey, apparently.
He's raring to go, Jackson. We'll get to you soon, I promise.
But here's the situation. Packers, Vikings, Lions, 49ers, Vikings, Lions, Seahawks, Packers.
You might win one of those games.
We might win one of those games, okay? That's going to be tough. It'll be the Seahawks, yeah. That's going to be tough. And like William says, not all four teams are going to make the playoffs. I see the Vikings going down a little bit, but those are all going to be tough games. So temper expectations on the amount of wins, even if we do go and we win a lot more than we think we are.
Bears fans, I apologize. Honestly, I apologize, Bears fans. Really, I do. I mean, you guys are riding high. You guys have possibly the best rookie quarterback not named Jaden Daniels. I mean, and we got these two Bear fans who are they're not raining on your parade, but frankly, they're so beaten down and scarred from just all of their time as fans. Like, frankly, we're suffering from age on this podcast. You guys have just been around too long, and you have heard this about too many quarterbacks, so you're not going to let yourselves get excited. I understand. You guys were both probably fired up when Cordell Stewart rode into town, and it just didn't quite work out. You know what I mean? Like, it just didn't quite work out. You guys probably thought to yourselves, hey, we got Jay Cutler, and it just didn't quite work out. I get it. But it's okay to be excited. It's okay to be excited. Do you remember when Robin Williams got with Matt Damon in Good Will Hunting, and he just pinned him up against the wall, basically, and he said, it's not your fault? That's what you guys have to tell yourselves. It's not your fault that the Bears have hurt you for this long. You're allowed to be excited.
We're realistic over here. So I think we know that Ben Johnson's last year in Detroit is this year.
Yeah.
And we know that Minnesota is massively overachieving this year. So what does that tell us for next year? That Detroit and Minnesota are both going to regress, and you never know with Green Bay. So
No, you do. You know with Green Bay.
yeah,
Shut
yeah,
up. You
yeah.
know with Green Bay.
Yeah.
Listen, but here's going to be
hate
the
Green
problem.
Bay.
Here's going to be the
Aaron
problem
Rodgers
for
is
you
good.
two
Not Aaron-
jokers, okay? I already fired up the
Again,
Bears
again.
Express at the beginning of this podcast season and was riding them to the division and the playoffs. So you guys right now have basically said, oh, it's okay if we don't make the playoffs. We're worried about next year. We're scared of the big bad Ben Johnson up in Detroit. Oh, my goodness, how could we ever beat a schemer like Ben Johnson? We have to have him out of the division before we could ever even hope to be a good team. So you guys are going to be long left at the station because I'm going to be rolling past you with the real party people, with the folks who are ready to let their hearts out and have fun watching football because that's what it's all about. You guys are sitting here realistic. And the Commanders, they're not going to win that game. How could they possibly beat Jaden Daniels? What's going on? Fine.
I actually think they can
I
beat
can't
the
bait you
Commanders.
guys at all.
I
can't
said
bait
they
you guys
can.
at all.
Rod.
You said they can.
I said they could be. I said they're going to be 9-2 or 7-2.
9-2.
7-2.
That's really
It's my fault.
realistic.
It's my
Dad.
fault that you
Get
weren't
out of here.
excited about the Bears, Jimmy. It's my fault that you weren't
realistic.
excited about
Yes,
the Bears.
it is.
Bears
All
win
right, let's
9-2.
move on then, and we'll talk about the Indianapolis Colts. And I'm just going to start then, frankly. I'm going to try to start to get the energy up for Colts fans. I want Colts fans to be excited that they're listening to this podcast and that I'm about to talk about their team. But I can't. I'm terrified. I'm petrified. I have absolutely zero idea of what to expect out of Anthony Richardson. I have zero idea of what I want to see out of Anthony Richardson. I don't know what plays he's best at. I don't know what receivers he has the most rapport with. I don't know what running game he's best suited to do. I don't know any of that stuff. But I know he's a hell of an athlete, and I know it seems that we have a pretty deep wide receiver core, and we have a great play caller, and I'm just riding the roller coaster. But I have zero expectations for what Anthony Richardson is going to bring to us this week, and much love to the 39-year-old Joe Flacco. It's been a lot of fun, and be ready, guy. Continue to be ready, Joe Flacco, is what I would say, because, I mean, A-Rich made it through a few games and then a couple of hits, and he was down. We saw the same thing last year, so I'm scared, Jim, but I'm still riding the roller coaster, and I'm not going to get on the Colts.
Come on, Rod. You were number one Anthony Richardson fan. You had his jersey. You were ready to go. You said Anthony Richardson is everything. You're never going to change. Well, that lasted 6 weeks.
Didn't say I changed
you
on anything. I said I was
you
scared.
changed. I'm going to be
I
on
said
the
I was
roller coaster.
scared.
You're
People
scared
get
to death.
scared when they ride roller coasters. That's why they like to ride roller coasters.
Well, you're on one right now.
Go up and come down.
Yeah, they go up and come down, and they've been down for a little bit with Anthony Richardson. Listen, they've got a tough schedule coming up as well. Colts don't have anything easy.
When did you become schedule guy? Honestly, when did you become schedule guy?
Oh, because the schedule, the wins and losses you get determine how good you are.
Listen,
sorry,
Chris
it's a new
isn't
thing
here,
in
Jimmy.
football.
So you're getting it all night long.
Rod.
Chris isn't here. Chris isn't here, buddy. You're getting it all night long. Williams no sells me, so I can't do it to him. I got to do it to you.
Yeah, but William, seriously, I mean, with A-Rich, you're going to have those issues that he's still a young quarterback. He has not. See, pick. He has not played as much. He's not gone through it yet. I'm worried too, Williams.
Yeah, I mean it's the same thing with the Colts. I mean, we just got to have more data points on Richardson. I mean, he's got to stay healthy. And like I said, with the Colts, man, this is a free year to try and evaluate Richardson. Much like the Bears, free year with Caleb. All good. It's all good. Whatever happens, it's all good. I want to get into what the NFL did with the practice reports with the Colts, man. Like, I have no idea what is going on here.
Of course you do.
Schefter came up. But let me tie this in. It'll circle back around here.
Here we go.
Schefter came in on like Tuesday and said Pittman is going to the IR. And then the Colts come back the next day and say, wait a second, he's been practicing all week. He's questionable for this game. So there's a Circa Survivor out in Vegas, 14 million up top. They have to have these picks in by Saturday. 4 people took the Titans by them thinking that Richardson was going to play and no Pittman. What was the biggest play in that game? Flacco off his back foot up top to Pittman for the go-ahead touchdown. 4 guys are out of that Circa Survivor contest with 14 million up top because of shenanigans I'm not blaming the Colts. I'm just blaming the NFL
I blame those
here.
guys. Those guys thought that Anthony Richardson could sway a Colts line that much. Come on, let's be serious. You said it yourself. We don't have enough data points on him, so let's not worry about that. And Pittman's good, but he's not a complete game breaker. Those guys shouldn't have thought those dudes actually had anything to do with the outcome. That's on them.
Yeah, I disagree because the most prominent bettor in the world was on the Titans because of that information. And yes,
Obviously not a prominent bettor now, is he?
Flacco is a massive upgrade right now with how he is playing over Richardson and Pittman. As much as you like to dog Pittman and Downs, Rod, those two guys are really, really good wide receivers in this league. I know you like to dog them, but those guys are really good. Those guys can move the line.
I'll admit defeat on Downs. He's impressing me right now because you know who's not impressing me is the second-round rookie that you guys said I should be impressed by. That dude doesn't want to get hit.
I hate
at
that
all.
guy with a passion.
Has alligator
I know you
arms,
do.
man. What's going on with your boy? What's his name?
He can't
80
catch
Mitchell?
the ball. He can't catch the ball. As a
He's
receiver, you need to catch the ball. But hey, watch out though. Flacco loved Downs. I don't know if Richardson's going to. That worries me.
All I'm saying that the NFL needs to step up their game with these practice reports. That's all
Here's
I'm
the
saying.
thing you get. Here's what you're not factoring in, okay? And here's what these bettors. You're the most prominent bettor in the world. I don't understand. Like, did you just start reading this guy's biography? This is the first time that you've ever dropped this guy as a data point on anybody. Did you meet this guy in person?
he's
Are you now
definitely the
placing
most prominent
bets
bettor.
for him?
He's very mysterious like me. He's definitely the most prominent bettor in the world.
See, I know how these guys work. They have to have other people place bets for him because they know how much they move lines. So that's oh my goodness. All right, listen, Williams, I'm not trying to blow up your spot.
I just feel bad for the four guys out of Circus Survivor, man.
I don't feel bad for those guys anyway, because as I was saying, they
got the
didn't
money.
take in the Ursay factor, okay? Nothing is absolutely
Whose
normal
fault?
when it comes to the Colts because
That's
of
true.
Ursay's craziness.
That's
They
true.
didn't take in the Levis factor. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Good
They were
call.
trying to sneak one for sure.
All right. Let's did we make proper fun of the Cowboys? Because I think if Chris was here, we probably would have needled him a little bit more about the Cowboys. Williams, do you have anything to say about them?
Dude, we don't go over this before the telecast. I didn't know what your Rod Damnation was this week. I thought it could possibly be Jerry Jones. I was hoping so much that it's going to be Jerry Jones because I could unload a whooping on this dude. But I feel like that's more for you. So I'll leave it up for you.
Thank you for not stepping on my brand. And yes, I do have some thoughts about one particular thing that Jerry Jones did with radio members, being that I part-time at least am in their community. So I have some thoughts on that. But you know what? People aren't really here for my thoughts. They're here for my overall general, je ne sais quoi, and and for that. But they're really here for your football knowledge, Williams. All right. They basically at this point they might be fading you. I don't know. I'm not going to recommend that because I think you're going to climb back here. A 3-0 week is going to get you back to 10-11. All right. That's where I think we're headed here. But let's get started. You pick the game. All right. I'm not going to control the energy. You pick the game.
Yeah, we'll start with the Seattle Atlanta game. And by the way, I mean I've lost 2 games by half a point and another one on the last play of the game. So I'm really close to being 10-8. So
that's what I'm saying. I'm not recommending a
So
fade.
you're
Williams. I'm just
prominent
saying,
better too then because it's close. Because it's
It's close.
betting. If you don't win, but it's close, it still counts. So that's fine.
That's what we're going with.
feisty tonight. I love it. Chris isn't here. We are feisty. Williams, continue. I'm sorry.
Okay, so we're going to go with Seattle +3 here. That's widely available everywhere. And check this trend out. This is the no one wants to back this team trend, which, as you guys know, always excites me.
Yes, it does. You love those ugly bets where you got to plug your nose.
Road dogs coming off 3 straight losses with extra time to prepare are 60% against the spread historically. We're buying low here on Seattle. They had 3 games in 11 days with a bunch of injuries on the defensive side of the ball. They took on 2 high-powered offenses in that stretch at Detroit and versus San Fran. And the other game they lost, they were at a significant net rest disadvantage as the Giants were coming off 10 days rest. Look, Atlanta has no pass rush. They're next to last in pressure rate, only ahead of the lowly Carolina Panthers. If you give Geno more time, he'll find the open receiver. Geno has some positive touchdown regression coming also if you tally up how many yards he has compared to how few of touchdowns he has thrown. And 58% of the tickets are on Seattle +3, but more importantly, 79% of the money is on the Hawks here with the points. Give me Seattle +3 to bounce back on Sunday in Atlanta.
Frankly, I think you're right on Geno for the reasons of my fantasy team. I've been a bit cursed this year, and I traded Geno away, so now he is sure to just have a sudden boom of a couple of weeks where he's throwing for 300 yards and multiple touchdowns. So that's definitely bound to happen. We liked McDonald and the Seahawks at the beginning of the year, so I like this play here, right? If with a team this strong that we thought at the beginning of the year is getting points, you know what I mean? So I like this, but Jimmy, those Falcons, I mean, somehow just ugly. They get it done with our guy Kirk. What do you think about Williams' thoughts here?
Yeah, they have so many weapons, though, Williams. That's my only thing. They can go to any of those receivers. Both running backs are good. Kyle Pitts, depending on if he wants to play or not, is good. They just have so much they can do that they can find something in Seattle's defense to exploit, I think. So on this one, I'm going to go against you, which means congratulations, everyone betting on the Seahawks.
So you really think Kyle Pitts is a factor in this game?
Thank you for looking at me like that. I think Kyle Pitts could definitely be a factor in this game. It depends if he wants to play, though. He takes a lot of plays off, and that's going to tick Cousins off. So even if he is going hard, Cousins may not throw it.
Cousins.
Alrighty.
Jimmy's Coven. He's got Halloween on the brain here.
Well,
all right,
you
listen.
know.
We're going to take a break between Williams' first pick and his last two picks. We see our guy. He's warmed up. He's ready to go. Jackson, all right? We told you to have a take for us, NFL, about one of these teams. What do you got? You ready?
He's ready, and he's ready to go. Jackson, what's your take? Go.
I think the Arizona Cardinals will make the playoffs as a 7 seed.
Whoa.
Okay. All right, Arizona.
Whoa. All right. Kyler Murray. Now
Making
listen,
the playoffs.
Jackson, is that because you like playing a lot of video games and Kyler Murray, their quarterback, likes playing a lot of video games? Is there possibly some sort of, you guys got like interest there?
They're Fortnite friends.
Jackson, thank you for that hot take. Listen, you've made some takes before on this podcast that your dad has relayed to us, and they've come through. So we will keep track of Arizona 7 seed. Now, Jim, I ask you, if he makes Arizona gets good enough to be the 6 seed, do I get to then say he's wrong? Like, how are we going to judge that?
Yeah, you do, because again,
They're better than I projected.
in sports gambling, when you bet on something, when you have a take, you gotta get it right. I don't care if it's better. I don't care if it's worse. Williams, if you bet the Bears to win 12 games and they win 13, you don't get the payoff unless it's the over. Calm down.
Bet the Bears win 10, 12 games?
No, Williams isn't that dumb.
Oh, I love it, though. Cardinals, I dig that, man. Kyler Murray's fun to watch play football. There's something about the Cardinals. I don't know, maybe it's because of Jerry Maguire, right? I saw that young enough that I always just have this place in my heart for the Arizona Cardinals, the fake Arizona Cardinals at that, but I always pull for them. So let's hope Jackson's right there. We going to my hated Texans here, or are we going to my lovable Baker Mayfield? Williams, which one we got?
We're going with Green Bay, Houston. But before we get to that, I like Jackson's other hot take better. I think the tight end could do well in that other game, Kyle Pitts, because we saw that where Hunter Henry did have a good game against Seattle, and then we saw where George Kittle caught 2 touchdowns against Seattle. So, I think that game is going to be a shootout in Seattle. So, yeah. Green
Isn't it
Bay
kind of sad, though? Let me say real quick, since we doubled back. Isn't it kind of sad that a guy that was drafted as high as Kyle Pitts and supposed to be as good as Kyle Pitts is now a hot take when someone says that he's going to have an impactful game? Isn't that kind of sad?
Yeah, man. He had so much athleticism. I don't know where it went. He can't separate right now, and
yep.
he could just be a red zone threat. We'll see. But there's one play every game where he's there's not a cornerback 15 yards from him. And it's how is this guy that wide open? And then he disappears for 2.5 quarters. So,
yeah, and there's a guy who's waiting for that one play every week, and that guy is Jimmy Jamriska, who continues to play Kyle Pitts at the wrong time.
Hey, me benching Cole Kmet last week was fine. I don't see the issue with that.
Yeah,
that's funny. Let's go with. This pains me. This pains me as a Bears fan. I'm going to take Green Bay. -2.5, -115 on FanDuel. This is a splits game, guys. Based off of home road splits, based off of defensive coverages splits, and this might be a first for the pod. Based off of playing surfaces. Yes, that's right. Jimmy, add another one to the mix of what I like to break down. Listen, we're digging deep this week to break this losing mojo that has followed me so far this year.
Love it.
We'll get to that.
Are we going as deep as like you can tell us the different types of turf, or are we just going turf versus grass here?
Yeah,
or are you like breaking it down like Fetterbed Bent, Kentucky Bluegrass, Sensimilla? You know what I mean? Like, is that where you're going?
Bermuda? No, it's just turf versus grass here. We'll get to that in a second.
All right.
Listen, Houston, they've got a couple safeties that didn't practice for them today. They may have to switch out the ever important green dot linebacker. We know how important that is, right, Rod? And believe it or not, Green Bay defensive back Xavier McKinney, he leads the NFL in interceptions, and Stroud hasn't been as good on the road as he has been at home. That's one split. Houston is 26th in pass block win rate, and Laramie Tunsil, their best offensive lineman, is battling through some injuries. The Packers play a lot of man coverage under their new DC Hatley. Stroud has been better versus zone. That's another split. Jair Alexander playing for Green Bay. Nico Collins not playing for Houston. That's advantage Packers. And in the 6 quarters without Nico Collins, the Texans offense has a 37% success rate over the last 2 weeks. In 250 snaps now without Nico on the field, CJ's completion rate drops 7%, his touchdown rate dips 2%, and his passer rating plummets 15%. Nico Collins is extremely important to that offense. This is also the Texans' first game on real grass surface. Here we go. Why is that important? This offense was built to play on the fast turf with quick, shifty guys like Tank Dell and the speed concept choice routes like they like to run to the versatile Collins. And the slow developing zone read runs tend to work better on turf because they aren't as slow to develop as they are on the choppy grass surface that is Lambeau Field. And think about this scheduling spot here, guys. Think back on Houston's only loss this year. When did it occur? It was after a couple wins. Then they traveled out of conference on the road to play an NFC North opponent in the Vikings before having a division game the following week against Jacksonville. Same exact thing to a T here. Coming off a couple wins, now they travel out of conference to play an NFC North opponent, this time the Packers, before having to play a division game the following week against the Colts. I know I did this last week. It didn't work out. Doubling down here, though, we are selling high on Houston. Give me Green Bay -2.5 Sunday at Lambeau.
Listen, I'm absolutely excited anytime we talk about Houston not doing well, so I love this. And I just have a question that I'm not sure if you gentlemen can answer or not, but Laramie Tunsil, you said, is hurt. Do we think that maybe he's busted out his old gas mask at any point during his recovery here for any pain medication? You think he's broke that thing out that he was pretty famous for around draft time?
He's battling through injuries. Maybe he's smoking that for the pain.
That's what I'm saying. I think they've lessened the standards in the NFL, much like they have in the NBA. You know what I mean? It's legal in many states. So, Laramie probably would get a lot less guff these days than he did when he was being drafted into the league and that picture dropped. And people were like, oh, my God, he can't be drafted in the top 10, but he can still be drafted at 13. That stuff in the draft always cracks me up. You know what I mean? He can't be a top 10 pick, but he can be 13th. That's just so ridiculous. All right. We get to do a little bit of Rod patting himself on the back here. We got to get to it once an episode, and because Tampa Bay's coming up, I mean, well, listen, whatever, Jim. Multiple times, fine. I wanted to make it sound like I was humble. All right, the best thing to do is make yourself sound humble. Okay, but I was right about Baker Mayfield. All right, I've been right about Baker Mayfield for years. Okay, the guy's frankly a gamer, and in this new NFL where you don't necessarily have to be a guy like Peyton Manning or Tom Brady who's 6'4", 6'5", and can just sit back there and chew up defenses by knowing exactly what they're going to do. That's not the way the game's played anymore. A guy like Baker who is absolutely not afraid to rip it, who is absolutely not afraid to run around a little bit, and who is just going to keep coming back is winning. He's just winning. Everybody keeps counting Tampa Bay out and thinking they're not for real, and all they keep doing is winning ball games, and Baker continues being one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Like, I'd love to have him as my fantasy quarterback right now. The guy's just putting up stats. Williams, please don't rain on my Baker Mayfield parade when you talk to us about Baltimore and Tampa Bay.
I'm not totally going with Tampa either. I'm going Bucks Ravens over 49.5.
Let's go. My favorite kind of bets. Williams saying we're going to have an exciting game. Let's go.
-108 on DK. We also have a little conspiracy theory towards the end of this handicap. Wait till I get to it. Only if Chris were here. let me tell you this. The Bucks offensive point totals the last 3 games, 33, 30, 51. I remind you, the over in this game is 49.5 for both teams. Now, the Ravens offensive point total the last 3 games, 35, 41, 30. So that's 68, 71, and 81 total points if you combine these two teams. Now, I know football doesn't work like that, but the main point here is that both these OCs are humming right now. Todd Monken for the Ravens has done a great job attacking the opposing team's weaknesses, and Liam Cohen, yes, Liam Cohen for the Bucks has helped this Tampa offense set franchise records already
that guy's
this
not
year.
the basis for Oasis or something like
That's
that.
what he
That doesn't
sounds
sound like an
like.
offensive coordinator at all.
594 yards of offense on Sunday versus the Saints. That was a franchise record for Tampa. 172 rushing yards in the fourth quarter. Franchise record for Tampa. Tied for the league lead points scored with 178. Baker leads the league in touchdown passes. Your boy Rod with 15. And maybe the most impressive stat, first team with over 300 passing yards and 275 rushing yards in a road game since 1962. Real quick, interesting background on Cohen. In 2021, he had Kentucky ranked in the top 5 in scoring offenses in the nation. In 2022, he worked under McVay with the Rams and some guy in the second half of the year by the name of Baker Mayfield. In 2023, he went back to Kentucky, helped guide their offense to 50 touchdowns while setting a school record with 8 yards per touch. And that's in what is widely perceived to be the best defensive conference in America in the SEC. So pretty impressive. What's good about this is the Ravens have a really good run D. The Bucks with big defensive tackle Vita Vea have a really good run D as well. I think both OCs are not going to be afraid to attack these secondaries on these teams. So with an elevated pass attempt game on both sides, we get more incomplete passes, which obviously stops the clock. And when we do get completions, there is a good chance that there are going to be plenty of them that go for chunk gains. 81% of the tickets are on the over here. 96% of the money is on the over. Last thing, got to bring out the ref stats here. Alex Kemp's crew is calling this game. He is 56, 42, and 2 to the over in his career. That's a 50% winning percentage clip to the over. It's almost like, hear me out here, the NFL knows that they absolutely blew it with that officiating on this last Monday night game with the Jets and Bills with all the ridiculous flags thrown. Now they're like, what can we do to make this up to our fans so that they forget the debacle, the fiasco that was Monday Night Football last week? Let's put the ref that has the highest percentage of games shooting out under his belt. Let's give him the primetime game with Lamar and Baker. We got conspiracy theory. We got ref stats. We've got Baker and Lamar shooting it out. What more can you possibly want, Rod, in an over on Monday Night Football? Let's get back going here.
Heck yeah. Listen, I'm excited as all heck that you were back in my Baker love. You yourself love some Vita Vea. You bring that dude up all the time. You love that guy. He is a line mover for you. And the other thing that I heard there, Jimmy Jam, is that Williams has himself a new crush when his guy Ben Johnson stops being a coordinator and becomes a head coach. Sounds like old Liam Cohen is going to be the apple of Williams' eye as we move into the future. That's some insane stats out of Kentucky. They're not really a football powerhouse, and they did that.
Well, it's going to be great because it's going to be the next Cowboys head coach. We'll have 2 Cowboy fans on the pod.
Look out. Good call by you there, Jimmy. What do you think? I mean, Bucky Irving we could talk about here. He's been looked really, really good for Tampa Bay. What do you got for us here? Baltimore, I mean, they're considered possibly the second best team in the AFC. So what do you see here, Jimmy?
I see a shootout like you just said. I think Tampa's got to do it for the state, for the city. Their baseball team can't even play next year in their stadium. I just think Lamar Jackson is going to be too much for him. It's Lamar. I mean, he's so good. They are on it right now. So I think Baltimore does win.
Williams, you got something?
Of course he does.
Remember Lamar, man. He's like 23-1, I think, against NFC opponents straight up. And I just feel like that's NFC. You only see this guy probably like once every 4 years, mostly in the NFC. He's very tough to prepare for. That's another reason why I like the over. These guys, the Ravens, get out to early leads on these NFC opponents. But I think this game is a toss-up. I really do.
Yeah, I hope it's a really, really good game. I love that it's on Monday night. We've mentioned the Cowboys a little bit. We alluded to it earlier. Jimmy, hit my music. It's been a while since we've done Rod Nation. Jerry, oh Jerry, I want to say I love you for being accessible, right? It's cool that an owner is willing to answer questions, but maybe you don't have to have a press conference after every home game. Maybe you don't have to do a radio show every Tuesday, so possibly you're out there a little bit too much. But I know for a fact one thing you can't do, Jerry, is determine what the people employed at a radio station are or aren't allowed to ask you. And you certainly aren't allowed to say whether or not those people can be employed. So, Jerry, I understand that it's a little disappointing for you in the season with the Cowboys, but as Jimmy alluded to earlier in this podcast, you shouldn't be surprised by that. Your team's basically been this for a bunch of years now. So I know you got embarrassed on your birthday, but you look so small when you take it out on radio hosts like the guys down in Dallas, who I'm sure are doing pretty well for themselves because that's a large media market, but those guys are not making the kind of money, the circles that you are running in, Jerry Jones. So you just look so small trying to say that those guys aren't deserving of the job to be able to deign to ask you questions after a Cowboys loss. So, Jerry Jones, Rod Damnation for you, man. Generally, I like you because you're a bit of a maverick and you're accessible, but you went a bit too far this week, so you got to get some scorn.
Rod, how could you say that about Jerry Jones? I'm trying to be Chris there. But you're right. You're completely right. They haven't done anything in so long. Maybe he was right in not signing Dak. He signed Dak.
Yeah.
It's tough. You're not going to get anywhere with the coaching you have, and they completely fumbled, pardon the pun, that running back over the offseason. It's so many running backs they could have gone with, and they went back to the well, and it's not working.
Yeah, Rico Dowdle, Ezekiel Elliott are not the answer to any question anyone is going to ever ask. So, Williams, we're about to close up shop. I know sometimes there's some nuggets left on the floor. Do you got anything for the people before we leave?
Yeah, I don't want to just totally bash Chris here while he's not here.
Jimmy, we haven't even done the Wins League, so we'll get to that.
I got a couple things, William, so hurry it up. No, I'm just joking. Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was despicable by Jerry Jones. I mean, he wants credit for 1989, between 1989 and 1995. It's been almost 30 years ago, Jerry. You're 82 years old, Jerry. Let your ego go. How many more Super Bowl championships would you have won if you would have kept Jimmy Johnson? But you couldn't withstand Jimmy Johnson getting more credit. It took him 30 years to put Jimmy Johnson in the Ring of Honor. That's a disgrace. And since 1996, Dallas is 4-13 in the playoffs. Jerry, you don't get a parade for winning 12 games in the regular season. You're supposed to be America's team. You're supposed to go after rings. You don't get parades. And by the way, that is the guy's job to ask you tough questions. I don't care if you've been going on there for 30 years or not. And to put himself up on the totem pole and say, oh, I can get different guys in here asking questions. Man, dude, you don't say that in 2024. Go away, man.
Whoa.
Go away. You are the second worst owner in the NFL, only behind the debacle that is Jimmy Haslam in Cleveland right now because he won't bench Deshaun Watson. Jerry, go away. We don't need you anymore. Go away, Jerry.
Jim Irsay, somewhere saying, hold my beer. Trust me.
No, he's not as bad as Jerry.
No, Jim Irsay would have taken Deshaun Watson to the airport himself. I have a feeling about 4 weeks ago. All right, we got a couple things I need to talk about. First of all, this Wins League. Chris King, mediocrity at its best. You know how bad you have to be worse at a Wins League when I'm in it? That is horrible. 16 total wins for Chris King.
Wait a minute. Didn't he have 16 last week? Did he go winless last week?
He had 14 last week. He got
14. He got 2 wins last week.
Man.
Rod with a respectable 24. Rod, yeah. You have as many 4-win teams as Chris King has 1-win team.
Wow, man, Chris definitely did not do well, and he was making fun of my draft picks.
Of course, I haven't mentioned myself yet because I'm 25. I'm second right now. I'm doing very well in my league.
I appreciate you not making as much fun of me as Chris, considering I'm right on the other side of the screen from you. I thank you for that.
That's fine. And then Mr. Williams it's where it should be. 27 wins.
Agreed.
That last round pick of the Vikings is just looking beautiful.
It's killing us.
Beautiful. So
man,
congratulations on that.
Yeah, it's the only thing going well for me this year is this Wins League. And I was worried about Rod last week. Rod picked up 5 wins last week. Dang it.
Let's go.
And so and Rod.
the Falcons' soft schedule is going to continue to pay off for me. It's just going to continue to pay off for me. They kill me. They're the cardiac kids every week, but they're paying off for me.
My first overall pick is really paying off for me. The Cleveland Browns
killing you, Jimmy. Man, like you
everything else has been fantastic except for the Browns. My first pick is 1, and I've got a 1, a 2, and that was given to me. But everyone else is 3, 4, or 5.
You went all in on the Browns, Jimmy. I'll give you that.
Did.
You went out on a ledge. You even said Deshaun Watson would play well enough to possibly get MVP vote. So you definitely were out there.
Not getting that $5 back. I'll tell you that right now. But I will tell you something else. Chris King did have good taste. He picked in the second to last round the Steelers, who have 4 wins. They are 4-2. They're doing pretty well.
He only picked that because he used to live in Pittsburgh. We can't give him credit for that.
I'm going for the Justin Fields factor here.
Here we go.
They benched Justin Fields, who everyone on the team loves to play with, for Russell Wilson, who everyone on the team I don't think cares about enough to hate him. What is going on, Mike Tomlin? You think Jerry Jones is Mike Tomlin? How many teams right now would die for Justin Fields to be their quarterback? I'll tell you them. Right now. Cleveland Browns. Browns would die for that.
Agree.
The Miami Dolphins, put Justin Fields in there right now. Because Tua, you don't know if Tua's coming back. Calm down, William. Miami Dolphins would love to have Justin Fields. You think the Raiders might want to have someone like Justin Fields running around? I think they would. The Saints, we'll see what Rattler does. We'll put them there. And then finally the Panthers, they don't want to win. Those are the only other teams. But the Browns, Raiders,
don't you do
Dolphins,
that to the Red Rocket. He looks even more Red Rocket-ish with the facial hair combo he's got going on right now.
I can't believe this. Your boy Tomlin is still going to get his 9 wins. I understand that.
That's what it is, Jimmy. That's what it is. He can't live and feel at 4-2 and one of the best teams in the AFC. He's got to get back to 500 or one game under 500, right? Just to feel alive.
It's ridiculous.
You know what I mean? He's like that guy who's got to go into a casino and lose money right away and be up against it to be able to turn his luck around. You know what I mean? Like Tomlin's just totally that guy. So Pittsburgh, strap in because it's going to be a bumpy ride with Russ Wilson.
Hey, remember when you guys made fun of me when I said decisions over results? We're decision-oriented over results. This is what Tomlin is doing. He's decision-oriented over results. He knows Steelers with Fields, 20th in points scored, 26th in yards per play, 28th in yards per game. That stat of can you score 20 points? He knows that Justin Fields can't score 20 points on the Jets. That's why he's going to Russell Wilson on Sunday night.
Oh, my goodness. Jimmy, he just went back at you again. The Justin Fields, it will continue to be a through line of this podcast.
I'm sorry. Again, Williams, last time I checked, doesn't matter how many points you score as long as you win the games. 4-2. Let's see what Russell Wilson does for the rest of the year.
Here we go.
There is also a conspiracy theory out there that is on your guys' side where he's putting Russell Wilson in to fail versus this Jets pressure defense, and then he's going to go back to Fields.
That would be funny. He doesn't want Fields to die. Yeah, yes. That's a valid point.
Yes.
Although he has gotten more calls on him this year.
Tomlin playing 3D chess. You have to love it. We love you for tuning in. If you tuned in live here on Facebook, or if you're going to tune in later on YouTube, or if you're just going to listen to this in your earbuds or when you're driving in the car, we really appreciate it. Do us a favor. Make sure you're following on whatever platform you're listening or watching, and maybe just tell a friend, right? That's all we need, right? We need some people to listen to this podcast. We think we do a pretty good job. We try to have fun. We try to make it entertaining. If a few more people listened, that would be great. So that's all we're asking of you. It's free. It don't cost any money. Jimmy, do you have anything to say to the people before we truly say goodbye?
The Undertaker next week is going to have Donald Trump on his podcast. We will talk about it on the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the More You Knows podcasting network.
How about that for a cross-podcast tease? Williams, how are you going to follow that up?
No, man, I'm not. I'm going to have to listen to that podcast now.
There we go. Williams is going to tune in. You should tune in. That is available for you right here in this very feed where you listen to this podcast, or on this YouTube page where you just watched it. Thank you so very much. Chris will be back next week. Until we talk to you again, this has been the Morgan You Know podcast. And Jimmy, you're Chris for tonight.
Goodbye, net. Yeah. That's the wrong one.